Hi everybody, it's Thomas here from Thomas Fitzgerald Photography. So in this video what I'm going to do is have a look at taking an entire photo shoot from start to finish. I shot some images today on my Fuji X-Pro2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert the images using X-Transformer, and then once they're processed, I'm going to process the entire shoot in Lightroom. Today I was out shooting a project for my Streets of Dublin website, which you can see here. So basically the theme of this shoot was Dublin in detail. So I was basically looking for images of kind of funky details and kind of close-ups of things and just generally kind of interesting shots. So like colors, textures, kind of patterns, interesting little things that I want to put together into a blog post and a photo essay. So that's what I was shooting. I haven't even looked at the images yet, so I'm going to go through the whole process and share it with you as I do it. So to start with, I am going to process everything through X-Transformer. Now, normally I wouldn't do this. I would import the images into Lightroom first and then just convert a few selected images. But I want to do the whole shoot this way, just kind of to show you how you can do this if you want to. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to launch X-Transformer. Okay, and let me just hide Safari here. So I have my memory card is in a card reader in my computer, so this is it here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to set my options. So if you haven't seen it before, I have a ebook on how to use X-Transformer, and in that I show you various different recipes. So I'm going to be using recipe 2, well, it's 1 or 2, I'm not sure exactly. I'd have to go look. It was a while since I wrote it. So I'm going to raw process, more detailed, sharpening none, basically none, luminance noise reduction none, color noise reduction I'm set to low. So basically what I'm doing is I want this just to do the demosaicing. I don't want it to do anything else, and I'll do everything else in Lightroom. So in the DNG options and the default camera profile, I want to set that to Adobe Standard. That's going to change now. They'll need to update that because of Lightroom 7.3, but that will do for the moment. Bit depth, same as original. Everything else there is fine. Use lossless compression, I want to turn that on. Translate camera's film mode to Lightroom ACR, I'm going to tick that on. So what that should do is that should recognize from the metadata that I shot using Provia, and it should automatically put that into the metadata of the DNG file, so that when it's brought into Lightroom, it knows to use the Provia color profile. Everything else there I think should be fine. I don't need to do anything else. JPEG preview is fine. Okay, file naming, that's okay. I don't need to do that actually. I'm going to change that. I might change this to, I'm just going to use the letters XT just to show that it's been X-transformed, and we don't want that. Okay, and then this is the main part. I want to save this to a specific folder because I'm going to drop the images straight onto the memory, off the memory card onto X-Transformer here. So I'm going to decide where to put this. So I'm going to select one of my external drives. And again, this doesn't have to be anything. I'm just calling it this for the sake of it so I can find it easily enough. Okay, so the most important thing with X-Transformer is to make sure you have changed all your settings before you start to process them, because it doesn't ask you once you've dropped the images onto it, just goes ahead and does everything. So I'm just double checking everything, and I think that's all the way it should be. So the next thing I want to do is, you only want to drop raw files on this, but I actually shot raw plus JPEG. So what I need to do is isolate all the raw files. So the easiest way to do this is, I'm on a Mac at the moment, so this will be slightly different on a PC, but I'm just here in the Finder, viewed by list, and then I want to sort by kind. So this will bring all the raw images to the top. So I just scroll down until I get to the last raw image, which is here. So select all them, and then simply drag and drop them onto this, and it'll start processing. Okay, so this is going to take a while, so I'm going to pause the video here and I will take it up once this is finished. Okay, so X-Transformer has finished doing its conversion, and I have the files open here, or the folder here. So you can see there's all the images. I just quick look on one of them here. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now is add this to Lightroom. So the easiest way is to just drag and drop it onto it. So I have Lightroom already running here, so I'm just going to drag and drop the folder onto the icon in the dock. So this will bring up the import window, and then I'm just going to set it to add, and I don't want to do anything else. So I'm leaving development settings set to none. Everything else I'm just going to leave to defaults, and hit import. So this should only take a second. Okay, so it's already imported, and it's straight away it's building one-to-one previews. So what the first thing I want to do is kind of go through it and pick my selects. So for this project, what I really want is kind of 10 to 20 images at most. And I might do some pairs with that. So for example, this image and this image might make a nice pair. So I'm just going to give all the ones I want to kind of keep 5 stars. So rather than make you sit through all this, I'm going to just speed this section up, and basically what I'm doing is I'm looking for the best images here. So in some cases I have taken kind of duplicate shots, so what I'm doing is I'm going and looking for the best of these, and the ones that I like the most I'm giving 5 stars. And once I've done this, I will then go through and edit the images. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a time lapse for the rest of this, because otherwise you'll be bored silly here. So bear with me, and we'll catch you in a second. So that is all the images so far. So now we're going to go through them and do some editing. So first of all, I'm going to view by star, and that's all I want. So I'm going to do fairly basic edits on this, but it'll depend on the image. And because I'm using the newer version of Lightroom as well, I want to see what I can do with the new profiles, and so see if there's anything kind of comes up here. So once again, rather than make you sit through a long edit session here, I am going to do a time lapse on the rest of this. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm not doing too much to the images. I want to try and keep them looking as natural as possible. In the most cases, I'm just doing some kind of basic fixes. So I'm fixing exposure. Some of the shots are a little bit underexposed, so I'm correcting for that, and also things like straightening and kind of just bringing up the color and contrast a bit. So one of the things I have been using as well is I'm using the newest version of Lightroom that has the new creative profiles. So in a few cases I've been trying some of these as well, just to see kind of how they turn out, and it's actually worked reasonably well, just to kind of bring up some of the images. Some of the effects are actually quite nice, and for other shots I'm not doing much at all. I'm just kind of keeping them fairly straightforward and basic. But I'm generally looking for kind of, I want to keep the images fairly natural. It was a nice sunny day, so there's kind of nice bright strong colors, and that's kind of the look I'm going for. I'm not trying to do like a film effect or anything like that. I'm just kind of basically going for a straightforward image. So yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm doing, and then once I have finished processing all these, I will then show you the results. Okay, so here is the rest of the edit session in a time lapse, and we'll see you in a second. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That is your whole process from start to finish. So here is my finished set of images, which we'll now export and put together into blog post. So that is the process from start to finish. As I said, I normally wouldn't go straight off the memory card into X-Transformer, but in this case I just did it to show you that you can do it. Normally I would copy them onto the hard drive first just to make sure I have a backup copy, and also because I've shot RAW plus JPEG, I'd like the JPEGs as well just to have them. But other than that, you can see how this works. So I hope you found this useful and interesting, and if you are interested in X-Transformer and haven't tried it yet, check out my X-Transformer guide, which kind of shows you, walks you through this process, and the link will be in the description below. And like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.